Good morning, class. Today we are going to read Glimpses of India. In this chapter, there are three stories. First one is A Baker from Goa. So today we will read the first story, A Baker from Goa. Like our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days. The Portuguese are their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the maker are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the modular, and those who bake the loaves. Those age old time tasted furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnace has not yet been extinguished. The third and jingle of the traditional bakers, bamboo harlings, his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as Pada in Goa. So here, bakers of Goa known as Pada. In old Portuguese days, the people of Goa ate loaves of bread. Now these loaves have disappeared, but their makers are still there. The furnace also exists there even now. The sound of the traditional bakers' bamboo can still be heard. Someone of the family still carries the business. These bakers are known as padder in Goa even today. Here in next paragraph, during our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day, once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingle thud of the bamboo woke up us from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Pasquine or Bestine, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of a special make. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jingle jang sound of the specially made bamboo stuff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. Wicket would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. Somehow, I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So now here, coming of the baker. Now the baker used to be the author's friend and guide. He used to come twice a day. It is mentioned that the baker used to be the author's friend. And here, the sound of his bamboo woke the author and others from sleep. The author used to run to him for bread bangles. The, the maid servants used to buy loaves and carry them inside the house. Delivering the loaves, the baker came with the jhang jhang sound of his bamboo stuff. One hand supported the basket on his head, the other banged the bamboo on the ground, which produces sound, and it was the indication of entry of the loaf maker. So here the baker would place the basket on the bamboo. The author and other would look into his basket. They peeped there. They would eat the loaves with hot tea. They would not brush their teeth. Like they said that why we will take this much pain? Why to wash our teeth? Like it is mentioned here that it would just like take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? So here he compared himself with the tiger and said tiger never brushed his teeth. And even he said that hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known at the bowl. Just as a party or a fest loses its charm without bread, not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinhas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabi. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a skirt and trouser which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a pedder. Now, here it is mentioned about the importance of bread, first of all. The baker was very important for all the occasion. Marriage gifts were meaningless without the sweet bread that is called bol. Sandwiches, cakes, and bolognese were made with the bread. And here it is said that the lady of the houses must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement too. Cakes and bolognese are must for Christmas as well as for the other festivals too. Here, bolognese is also a kind of a bread. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. It is very important that baker's presence is very important because for every occasion they want this bread for that occasion. Now, another paragraph here it is mentioned about the dress of the baker, like how he appears and how is the looks of the bakers, which kind of a dress they used to wear. So, baker's dress, the baker or the bread seller of the past had a peculiar dress. It was known as the kabi. So, the dress they wear, we called it kabai. So it was a single piece long frock. It reaches down to the knees It is similar to half pants of today. So now it is the dress of the bakers. Kabai is a dress. It was a single piece long frock. It reached down to the knees. It is similar to the half pants of today. And whenever, if anyone wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees, invites the comment that he is dressed like a pedder. Another thing, the baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly account used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He, his family, and his servant always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. Here it means baker, a happy family. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. And monthly account used to be recorded on some walls with the help of a pencil. That means they don't have anything written, but they used to record it on some wall in pencil. And baking was profitable profession in the olden days. It is considered that baking was the profitable profession. The baker and his family never starved. Their fat bodies showed that they were happy and were not poor. His family and his servant always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Here, plump physique is related to the fat bodies of the bakers. So they all are having good physique, they all looks healthy. So it is the testimony that they all are very happy. And even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. So now they say they who are whoever having whoever whose personality is just like jackfruit. So if their physique is like jackfruit, so people consider them or compare them with a baker. So that's all about this first part of the chapter Glimpses of India, and this was the first part of it, that is a baker from Goa. Goa is also known as Goan. So this is all about this.